The best music on your station. Highland Radio.
It's Donna-Marie Doherty here on Around the Northwest, and I'm very excited to be joined by Cheryl Smith. Cheryl Bakes Cakes on TikTok. Cheryl, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, Donna-Marie. Hello.
How are you keeping?
I am keeping very well. I've had a bit of an unexpected event, and I'm actually sitting in the car park up at the hospital with my daughter. She's in at the A&E department, but all's well. My life's hectic normally, so I still wanted to come and chat.
Oh, God love her. Well, we hope everything that she gets in and out quickly enough and everything gets sorted. Cheryl, your TikTok name is Cheryl Bakes Cakes, but you actually do a whole range of stuff, don't you?
Yes, I do. It was one of the kids give me the name Cheryl Bakes Cakes because that was what I kind of started off doing. And I just threw in a bit of what I do and my personality in the mix.
And your love for cooking and baking started whenever you were only 2 years old, and it all started with your own granny. So you want to just tell me a wee bit about her and I suppose what it was like in her kitchen?
My granny lived in a farmhouse in Macromorne in County Antrim, and when I was only as young as 2 year old, she used to stand me up in the chair beside her in her kitchen with the tea towel tied round my chest. And she gave me the very important job of baking for the hens. And I believed that it was a very important job and didn't realise at the time that it was because nobody could eat what I made. So I've been baking since I was very, very young.
And that, I suppose, that was the seed planted, so to speak, and you just absolutely fell in love with cooking from here on out. I suppose before TikTok, would you have been known as the woman to go to if there was something on to get something made?
Well, yeah, do you know what? I would bake for friends and family and things like that there, but I don't do it to order. I've never been really interested in doing anything like that there. Um, it, it is a love of mine. I would always have been the friend that, other friends would have wanted to come to for dinner because I would have kind of been known for being able to make nice food.
And then how did that progress? How did you end up on TikTok? Where did that all start?
Started off in a storm when friends of mine actually from Strabane rang me one day when I was arriving home. Carrickfergus was being particularly battered and asked me what the weather was like. Well, I did Cheryl style video weather forecast, jumped out and did a wee forecast, and my kids begged me to post it on TikTok. So I did as a joke, and it got 8.9 million views, and that started my love of TikTok.
And from there, it's grown. So I suppose for people who mightn't have come across you on TikTok before, if they went onto your page, what would be the kind of things they'd see?
On my page, they're going to get a very much mixed bag of things to be able to cook affordable, delicious meals that you're going to want to cook over and over again. I break it down into very simple steps, and I get a lot of good feedback from people who say that the ingredients I use and the methods I use are very easy to follow and they get great results.
And this is the thing, like I know that we can kind of go down the whole rabbit hole on TikTok with food, and it's always these real rare ingredients that you don't have. It's wild deer. And it's no good if you're looking to make dinner for your family or for yourself and your partner or whatever. You're not going to have all these things to hand. So you really have reached out to the ordinary person and have been able to open up a whole world of recipes. So I suppose, tell me about the £5 meal parcels. I'm interested in that there. I was having a wee stalk earlier.
I think I've opened the ordinary side of TikTok meals up because I am an ordinary person. And I'm a foster carer as well as being just an ordinary mum. So I have always got a gang to feed at dinner time. And in this cost of living crisis, we're all feeling it. We're all feeling it.
Absolutely.
And going out to eat now is a special occasion. I don't think anybody should be able to, we should all be able to do things like that. But if we're able to save the money day after day within the house. So I go to the butcher's. I have a butcher's that I go to, and he does me a £25 meal parcel. And in that meal parcel, I show how I can feed the family with vegetables added on for the £25. I broke it down to about £5 a day for a really nice dinner. And I mean a proper nice dinner.
And what would that look like? What kind of meals would be in there?
Mm-hmm. It could be anything from a really nice meatloaf that cooks in its own barbecue sticky sauce with potato wedgies. It could be mincemeat rissoles done with some peas and buttered potatoes. Steak pieces done with, nice roast potatoes, or a shepherd's pie with roasties on top instead of mash. I always twist things up a little bit, but proper nice home cooked meals that you can sit down to and you feel full after it.
And that's another wee thing that you said, that it's important that people do sit down and eat dinner. Everybody's running,
It is
running, running, and firing things in the microwave, and that's grand whenever it needs to. Whenever it's
100%.
sometimes that's just the way it plans out. But getting everyone around and getting them fed a nutritious meal, but having that time as well just to sit and talk.
I totally agree. I think, in the manic life that we all live nowadays, we're juggling so many balls. I think it's just nice to sit down with the family together round the table. It's where we all get a chance to talk about our day, our worries, and it's where we all get to connect and feel to be really part of something. And the heart of the house is in the kitchen, and that's where you're going to find me.
And I suppose, Cheryl, it's be fair enough to say that a lot of the time the cooking always is left to the woman of the house. So it is.
It is.
And a while at the time you could just feel like your whole, from whenever you get up in the morning to you go to bed, you're thinking about, right, what am I going to make for dinner? What am I
Mhm.
going to make for what? And it's like a mental load, but you've found a way around that.
I have. You know what? I think you're right. It does fall down to women, and there's some fantastic men cooks. I just have never been lucky enough to have one of them in my life. But I know I really shouldn't have said that out loud. But I, we as women, we think every single day for the rest of our lives, what are we going to cook? What are we going to make? What are we going to do? And I try and take that away for everybody so that they can just pop onto my page and see a plethora of easy recipes that they could easily attain and sit down with their family and cook. I just take a wee bit of the strain out of the thinking, and allow people to be able to follow up.
And I think once you get back, because I was in a wild rut there for ages, I wasn't cooking at all. I just wasn't bothered about it. Didn't want to put the time and energy into it. But see, once you get back into finding the joy in food again, it's a game changer. You looking forward to what you're going to make is I think it's such a big deal.
100%, Donna-Marie. I find the joy, and I love, I love food. I really do. I love everything about it. I actually love buying it. I love cooking it, and I love eating it, and I love sitting down with people and eating it. So it's just something that I'm very passionate about, and I just wanted to share it. I created a living cookbook for my children, and shared it on TikTok for everybody else.
And what is that?
The living cookbook is basically, because it used to be, I've older children now who are married, and my eldest son would have rang and said, could you show Katie how does she do that Irish carbonara you do? And I thought, you know what, I'm going to start doing all these recipes on TikTok, and all I have to do now is see me prop the phone up, and I blab them through it.
And find a way to, I suppose, to learn to cook as well, because
Yeah.
a lot of people is they're like, I don't know how to cook, or I'm a while bad at cooking, but it's a thing that you need to learn, and now this is a really good resource for that.
Everybody can cook. I mean, everybody can cook. People will say, and I get a lot of people saying, and in fact, that's what my page is aimed at. People who say, oh, I can't bake, I can't cook.
Mm.
Nonsense, you can. You can. All you need is somebody to show you, and to be able to pause and go back and do it again.
Mm.
And everybody can do it. And that is a lot of the comments that I get from people, how they've got their love of cooking back, how they're really enjoying it, and they're just really loving the fact that they can go to my TikTok page, pull out recipes, and have fun doing it.
And I suppose as well, we were on about it. It's always left to women, but for
Mm.
a lot of people, and I suppose even for you thinking about your granny, for a lot of people,
Yeah,
food is memory, and it is a memory of the people that have
100%.
unfortunately have gone on before us. But you've got some comments of people saying that it's brought them back, and it's brought
Hmm.
loved ones back into their lives in a different kind of way.
Yeah, I've got, it's all the time. I couldn't even name the number of comments, but there's so, to me, they're my level of success. I'm getting people from New Zealand saying, my granny was from, Donegal, or my granny was from Carrickfergus, and she used to make these things, and it just reminds me of her. So I'm quite happy to be everybody's granny, their auntie, or their mummy.
I think for me, it's Granny always made she made her loaf every day, and then in the
Uh-huh.
summer the blackcurrants would have come in, and that's what me and my cousins all would have been sent out out to the bushes and all the thorns. But that's what summer is, and then Granny would have made the jam as well, and it was just
Yes.
that homemade. I tried to make it one time, and I nearly burnt the kitchen down and burnt myself doing it. And I always like, well, you just leave that now. You let Granny be in, But that is,
Hmm.
it's such a memory, and it's such a fond memory that me and all of my cousins have now together. Um, and what was the last thing? Oh, we had I'm going to a curveball at you now, but I'm sure you'll be well able
Okay.
for it. Today
Okay.
on the show, we've been chatting about weird food combinations, and there's
Mhm.
one that I got sent in, and I actually think it is somebody taking the hand on me. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's
Okay.
a tuna and marmalade sandwich. Is that a thing?
That sounds disgusting.
Doesn't it? It does. I think the same.
I'm so bad. I've had marmalade and cheese.
Oh, I see. I'm not a fan of marmalade anyway, so it really was the thing. But because I was actually seeing the video that you posted earlier on today, and it was whenever your granny was saying, "Oh, this is whenever we feel posh," and was it the red salmon and the
Canned
cucumber.
salmon.
Mm, mm. Aye, we had another one, and it was salmon and something else. I can't remember what it was now. But Cheryl, so I suppose just to wrap up, where can people find you, and where can they fall in love with food again?
All they have to do is go on to TikTok, look up Cheryl Bakes. You won't even have to go to the cakes because it comes straight up at Cheryl Bakes. My following is going up I've only been doing it for over a year, and I'm already at about 180 something thousand followers.
Incredible.
So I'm doing well. Just go to TikTok, Cheryl Bakes Cakes, hit the follow button, and you'll miss nothing. And I would love to have you on board.
Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to play out here with a wee bit of Oasis.
Thanks, Donna-Marie.